Hi everyone, Vickie here, Rock and Roll Prophetess. We're going to take a look at the full moon in October, occurring on October 16th, 2016. Times may vary, that's Eastern time. And it's a full moon in Aries. And it's conjunct Uranus, but it's also conjunct Eris too. I believe Eris is still at that point there. And there's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of friction, and it's already happening. It's already happening. There's a lot of conflict and friction, and it feels like people can be, combative. I've been experiencing it in a few different ways, and that's the other reason for that. One of the other reasons, there's a lot going on here, but a lot of this is about this Pluto-Mars conjunction up here in Capricorn. So the two, Mars, the god of war, Pluto, death and destruction, and, this is some intense energy and anger. People are angry. That's just what I get a lot, and this Pluto-Mars thing, too, it's also tied into, it's sextiling the South Node with Pisces, which is the past and illusions about the past, and this is Capricorn, the old paradigm, the male-dominated, male energy-dominated control society, and it's squaring off. We've got all this bright energy over here in in Libra, with Jupiter and Mercury. The Sun is still in Libra, but it's squaring off. It's squaring off with this Pluto-Mars stuff over here. So there's a lot of intensity. Everybody wants to, and this Aries, moon in Aries is just going to bring it out even more. It's going to illuminate it all, where it should be illuminating more of, look, this is the new way, because that's what Aries energy is all about, trailblazing, the new way, all full force ahead, damn the torpedoes, full steam ahead. But, the balancing side of that, the alternative side of that, the other end of it is the Libra energy was where you just don't want to be all go, 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 and crush things and people on the way. You want to have some consideration for people and tact and diplomacy. But it's being very, this Libra energy, even though it's got Jupiter in there, really giving it a big boost. It's squaring with this Pluto-Mars. This could be a little bit of turbulent times, and, what I've found, the way I've dealt with a lot of this that I've encountered, is just don't go, short fuse. People can have a short fuse, and I just give it a little breathing room and come at it again from a Libra aspect, come at it again as a peacemaker, That's kind of the best way. In my personal life, a couple of things have popped up, and I posted those pay-per-view videos, which I still posted the regular videos, the astrology videos, and people were just flipping out. Flipping out. I usually don't delete comments, because I was just like, okay, show your ass, you want to write something nasty on somewhere, I just let them show their ass, but I deleted quite a few, because they were just attack mode. And I still did the free readings. The free readings are still there over something that I do for free. And people were just vicious and nasty with their comments. I was very, I don't know what the word is, but it was like, wow. It was pretty intense there, so that happened on a bigger scale through YouTube, but then there was also some stuff around here, and people are just like, wow, ready to go off, and they don't have the whole picture many times. They just don't. And it's certainly bubbling up with this election stuff. People are really being vicious, and maybe they don't have the whole story, or the other end of it too. It's the Neptune is all the lies, and people want to just lash out with this Aries Mars energy and this with the aggression, and then lie to justify their behavior. Well, it's because you did this, or blah blah blah, or that's not really what I said, or this is really what happened, blah 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 blah. And it's pretty it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense energy. We at the 23 degree though, which is where this is, and that Eris is too. I don't know a lot about Eris, but it's not a great vibe, It's it's this negative feminine energy again. You know, it's the well, I looked it up in Wikipedia, and what did it say? She was the sister of Aries, and they went on killing sprees or something. You know, so it's the real, and it's the, you know, there's an aggression. The feminine side has an aggression too. You know, it's not just, oh, the feminine is all beautiful, and we talked about this a lot with this Lilith, Venus, Juno. Now this is also here. This feminine is still here, and this is what I wanted to get to. It's involved in a grand trine. We have a nice water grand trine going on with all feminine archetypes. We've got Venus and Juno conjunct. Well, not all. We've got actually Chiron. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think Chiron is a male. But then it's trine down here with Vesta at 29 degrees of Cancer. 29 degrees is always, it's a critical degree. So it means it's critical, it's imperative that we do something. So what is the Cancer energy about? Nurture. The mother, nurturing. And it doesn't mean, like, you know, necessarily that when people are attacking you and stuff that you just lay down and nurture them. I think in that case it's more about, like, nurture yourself and take care of yourself. Don't allow yourself to be too much into that. You know, don't get too caught up in that stuff. Take time, because Cancer also energy, the Cancer, the crab, will retreat into their shell. You know, so it's kind of like, you know, maybe you need to, and, you know, this is a crustacean as well, Scorpio energy. Retreat into yourself. And it's about Chiron is where it finishes off, and Chiron, again, that wounded healer. So healing the wounds, not trying to lie and blame them away and accuse and make war over and force somebody into submission, you know, by being aggressive. That's never going to work long term. I mean, that may work for a minute, you know, you may get your way, but that's not going to really heal anything. That's not going to change anything. You know, finding the healing energy of it, you know, finding the healing, the way to heal, even if it's only to heal yourself. Nurture and heal yourself. Maybe sometimes we have to nurture and heal ourselves after we go through this, it's like running the gamut almost, or the gauntlet rather, the gauntlet, you know. That's what it kind of feels like at times, right? We're in the gauntlet. Getting attacked from everywhere, you know, and I just notice it too, just like being in the grocery store and stuff. People are just like, rah, rah, you know, just aggressively pushing their carts through and stuff. It's like, geez, you know, you can go ahead of me. It's okay. I'm not gonna, maybe I'm just noticing it, but I don't know. I definitely am. And it's not about retreating into victim mode either. You know, it's about staying in your integrity, staying in your dignity. Yeah, a lot of times it is, you know, you look at it as the mirror thing again. So how am I being aggressive? You know, with me, and it's the South Node too, because I think I'm not aggressive much at all really anymore. But I definitely was as a younger person, you know. And, you know, my parents said, if somebody hits you, you hit them back. You know, that was our family motto. There was no retreating from any, you know. And we're in the bar, come on, you know, you can't let the, you know, the lunatics take over the asylum. You know, you have to be, sometimes you have to really be you know, on top of things. If some shit's going to break out, you got to get right over there and put an end to it, you know, and you be the authority, you know. So I definitely, you know, was brought up in a different manner, and in the past I'm sure I have, you know, behaved in aggressive ways many times. But you know, I'm not that way anymore, and I'm working on it all the time. So I even wonder, you know, with this mirroring, is it just coming back? Is it karma? Is it karma for past, you know, past behaviors in my misspent youth of aggression? And I'm not like I was overly aggressive. I was always, you know, fun party girl in those days, more or less, you know. But I didn't take no shit from anybody, you know. That was my grandfather, who's really was Devar was in the first place. It was Pappy. Pappy don't take no shit from anybody, you know. And that was kind of like, my attitude, I guess, too. I didn't start it, but I would finish it kind of deal. And it's so stupid now to think of it that way. But, is it karma for that, those behaviors? Or even not just me personally or any one person personally. Even if you feel like you have evolved or you've come a little ways and, you're not in that vibration anymore, it's humanities or societies. Societies past and present, and it still goes on, past aggression and scapegoating and all that stuff. Even if it wasn't you personally, it's our society, and it's like bringing it forward. This is the energy that's going to bring it forward here into the new thing, the new paradigm. So and if it's, you can go deeper in that, or maybe it was your past life, even if you've been a model citizen this entire life and you've never done anything wrong, then, it could be karma past lives. Or, whatever it is, it doesn't even have to be, blaming your past self even. You don't have to blame anybody. It's just like, we got to find new ways of doing things, we're waking up, we got to try to find new ways of doing things. We got to try to find new ways of coping, healing, nurturing, loving ourselves, loving others, forgiveness. Forgiveness is really strong. And that line from Jesus just came. I'm not a big religious person, but, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. You can't, even if by criticizing people who behave aggressively or, that's not really helping anything either. Or trying to say, well, I'm above that now. I've ascended, so I'm above all that now. I'm so much better than all of you. Right? That's not the way to go either. There has to be forgiveness. There has to be understanding. There has to be nurturing. And it doesn't even have to be like, again, letting somebody bully you or push you around. It's not that kind of forgiveness. It's more of, it's a different vibe. It's different than that. It's not continually volunteering to be a victim over and over again. It's having understanding, having forgiveness, forgiving them, forgiving yourself, It's a lot about forgiveness. Forgiveness would be the key word that I keep coming back to as a way to, get through this. This is some intense stuff here. I'm trying to focus on some positive, but it's very battle, warlike, aggression, blame, attack, pushy, there's a lot of that going on. We got to get through this storm. And, but we got to live in this world, we got to live in this world. We didn't come here to hide away, so keeping your energy, counteract it, I would say. Counteract it with some self-love. Not by getting on the phone and saying, oh my God, this asshole at the grocery store, you wouldn't believe it, blah, 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 blah. Because anything you're impassioned about, Mars is passion, this is very passionate full moon. Anything you're impassioned about, you're just amplifying the energy of, right? So you don't want to bitch and moan about it for a half hour when these things go, or even if you're not calling a friend or somebody, even if you're running it over in your head, I should have said this, boy, that asshole, I should, you don't want to do that kind of stuff either. Maybe you want to do something, some self-love, something to nurture yourself, something to comfort yourself, something to heal yourself. Therefore, by healing yourself, you can heal others as well. Okay? Okay, I think that's a good place to leave it. I got a lot of stuff I want to tell you guys about. I got new things out. Well, first of all, I might as well show this since it's on screen. These are almost done. I'm going to do the 2017 calendars. And both astrology based, let me pull up just any one here. How about this Virgo? This is going to be, it's the Tapestry of Life mandala, and it has the new and full moon of the month up there as part of it. It's on there, but you can't really read it that well, so they're design elements. But just for a quick reference, I am trying to find a printer that will let me custom print the bottom, and it's not looking too bright. They all come with these prefabbed ones because I do want to include quite a bit of astrology. Not like a Llewellyn or Maynard astrology calendar, but put in a lot of good stuff, and pagan holidays and that. So I may end up just publishing it in a form of a book, a spiral-bound book. Well, the only drawback to that is there wouldn't be a hole in it to hang the hanger. So you could either use like a big clip to hang it or put a hole in it yourself. But I really want to design the bottom. I don't want to custom, I want it custom. Because I already did the graphics for the new and full moon. I want to show when the sun changes signs, Mercury retrogrades. I'm not going to put every single aspect or anything, but I want to have it just a real quick reference for people who know a lot of astrology, but also don't know that much astrology, not too in-depth with all the aspects. So these are going to be the Tapestry of Life ones, and then I'm also going to have these fun ones, really colorful, the coloring book. I'm going to put it out as a blank coloring book and also as a colored in coloring book. I guess I could open it, So they'll be like this, really fun and colorful. And so if you like that, like the fun, colorful rock and roll prophetess kind of stuff, or if you like the more elegant Tapestry of Life, those are going to be coming out. And then the other thing is I have already out, if you go on my site and go to Divination Tools, I have more lots. I did the Lots of Love. I'm doing these, I'm calling them casting lots. So I did the Lots of Love, which is 80, and I did 2 more, Lots of Answers and Lots of Proverbs. Okay, Lots of Answers. This is the first one. It's kind of like a magic 8-ball, where it's sort of like yes or no questions and things in between, So it's like, here we go, plausible, never, allegedly, probably, yep, unlikely. There's 40 different lots for the Lots of Answers. So if you just want a quick answer, maybe, assumably, unlikely, likely, there's 40 different ones. And then the Lots of Proverbs is cool sayings and expressions. Still waters run deep. Make love, not war. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Jealousy is the green-eyed monster. So there's 40 of these as well. It's never too late to be what you might have been. So these are kind of, you could ask a question and the proverb or may give you the answer, but it also just might be, you could draw one for like a daily inspiration or something like that. So lots of new stuff. The calendars aren't out yet. I've just got a few more things to do. As you can see, I haven't even quite finished. I've got a few more to do of the color on these, and then I've got to finish putting all the bottom together, and let me know what you guys think. I mean, would you rather have it be really cool, but you can't hang it with a hanger? You'd have to hang it with a hanger or something, or bust your own hole in it, or just go with a standard calendar with the holidays and stuff. I mean, I feel so strong about it. I really want to make it my own. I mean, would you buy a calendar that didn't have a hole in it, I guess, is what I want to know. Okay, everybody, where is that chart again? Anyway, where is that bad boy? Here it is. So, hope you can find shelter from the storm and get through this with your integrity and your sanity and your heart and love still intact. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Thanks for everything you do. Have a great full moon, and I'll speak to you soon.